So welcome to Talking Tuesdays with the Starch Queens. I'm Jeanne Schumacher. I'm the Queen of Diamonds. And my partner is Nancy Norby Mathews, who is the Queen of Hearts. And together, we're the Starch Queens. And our weight loss and lifestyle program is it's web-based, where we provide coaching and recipes and an educational program that helps people define weight loss success and help heal their body. Our program can be found at sqweightloss.com. Love to have you join us. So thank you for joining us this evening on Talking Tuesdays. How you doing, Nancy?
I'm great, Jeanne. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Doing
awesome.
All right.
Excellent. I am just going to share this really quick on my Facebook page. So while I'm getting going with the sharing and asking our viewers to share on their Facebook page, we have a wonderful question from Lisa Sin on the differences of prebiotics and probiotics. Would you like to take that question?
I'm happy to take this question.
Excellent.
So I'm on it. So these two words, the prebiotic and probiotic, they sound very similar and they often get confused, but they're not the same, except they do both help enhance the growth and health of the healthy bacteria that's growing in our gut. And our gut biome is so much more important than we really understood. And we need to understand about this gut biome because, wow, it's important. So let's talk about probiotics. Probiotics are the type of, it's a living bacteria, and it's things that are similar to living in our digestive tract. And you can find these probiotics in foods such as like yogurt, sauerkraut, sourdough bread, miso, tempeh, kombucha, which is that drink. And also you can get it in supplement form. So the probiotics are going to help maintain healthy levels within our gut, and it helps provide the good bacteria in our intestines. They support our immune defense. They're helpful for anybody suffering from symptoms of like bloating, gas, that kind of thing. They also can help with somebody who's dealing with diarrhea to help, lessen that as well. So especially you want to take some probiotics after you have done a round of antibiotics. So you definitely want to do that because the antibiotics, not only do they kill the bad stuff, but they kill the good stuff too. So it takes a while for you to get back the culture back into your gut biome. Now, the prebiotics are the non-living food ingredients that reach the large intestines that are unaffected by digestion. And this is what's going to feed the good bacteria in our gut to help them grow and flourish. So these can be found in things like legumes, whole wheat products, rye-based foods, artichokes, onions, cabbage, garlic, good stuff there. So having a combination of both the prebiotic and the probiotic and getting that in the foods is going to, or if you need a supplement for the probiotics, it can help our body help maintain a good balance of the good bacteria and help support our health and well-being. So these are especially important for growing children and developing their digestive and immune systems to, if they're having any health issues. So hopefully that answers that question. That was a good question.
That's a really good question. And as I've shared on our Talking Tuesdays before, I had a colonoscopy last month, and that's something I'm not even sure about is how long I need to rebuild my gut biome. So I'm doing the 2 different kinds of probiotics, and I actually even bought 2 coconut milk yogurts because I read up on them as having a good live culture too. So I thought I'd throw that into the mix so that I get a broad array of different cultures to rebuild the gut biome, because that's where our immune system is. And
exactly.
That's really, really important. That's protecting us. That's our military defense system. So we've got to have a good gut biome.
Right.
Awesome question,
sure.
Lisa. Awesome question.
Yep.
So we have another one. We have another question. We're going to just get right into it. We're loving. I want to say real quick to hi everybody. Hi Kathy Anderson, Allison Lucas, Treva, Maxine, Debbie. Let's see who else we got. Peggy Harter. Peggy even has a question for us today. So hi everybody. We're happy you joined with us, and please share to your page. And Debbie Osborne Lewis. Hi Debbie. Miss seeing you a lot. on Facebook. Okay, so we have Peggy's question. Peggy Harter asks, what is the best way to communicate with your grandchildren that eat about 75% processed foods without sounding too preachy? I know you and I are both, Jeanne, will talk about this. This is this is one that's not just grandkids, but for kids as well. So great question, Debbie. And that's, I always had the mindset with my girls growing, once I got, how do I say it? As when they were growing up, we ate bad. We ate the standard American diet. We ate McDonald's. We cooked a lot. We ate out a lot. We just were the normal two working class adults, parents, kids. We were always on the go with something. So we just ate on the fly most of the time. So, we gain weight, and that happens. So then you realize, oh crap, what did I just do with all of these decisions that we made with our children's health? And how do we undo that? Well, when I learned to go whole food plant-based and started studying nutrition and realized what a big mistake we made, it's hard to undo that. But going forward, I always tell everybody in our Starch Queens group is we have to lead by example. Now, we were just talking about it today in the group on my morning ride along, is be a 3D vision board, be a human walking, talking, breathing example of the lifestyle. The healthier you are, the more active you are, the less prescription medications you take, it's just going to ooze from you. You're going to be happy. You're going to feel good. And I don't know that you can not be too preachy. Kids are kids. They're going to listen to what they want to hear. That's the problem. My girls are in their 30s and they will listen to what they want to hear. As myself, I'll hear and listen to what I want to hear. So have good food in your home. That's the most important thing. When they come to visit, only have whole food plant-based items in your home. Make ahead some plant-based really good cookies. There's so many good cookies. There's the black bean brownies, there's muffins, there's scones, there's granola, raw granola if you have a dehydrator. There's so many options that you can keep for snacks in your home. Lots of fresh fruit, cut up vegetables. You can make hummus. As long as your home is filled with these types of healthy foods, hopefully they're not going to go out and seek them when they're with you. And then the best thing to do is to gently educate them. Ask them to watch a documentary with you. Ask them to sit down and watch Forks Over Knives, depending on their age. That's one thing you didn't mention, is how old they are. Ask them to watch What the Health with you. I think that those are two documentaries that even teenagers will relate to. So that's my recommendation. I would love to have a time machine and go back in time to 1986 when I had my oldest daughter and be able to do everything the right way. But none of us are in that position, and we've all made the same mistakes. And so what do we do now? We just learn on the fly, and we do the best we can. Because the last thing you want to do is plant a seed that grandma's too preachy, and grandma's, she only eats vegan food, and you want to still have that wonderful, happy, loving relationship with your grandchildren where you don't come across as you're so rigid that they don't want to come to your home. And that's something that has to be really talked about, because I'll tell you firsthand, my husband's mother she's Seventh-day Adventist. And so my girls would say, oh, we're going to go to grandma's and we're going to have fake hot dogs. And it's like, ooh, gross. We don't want to go spend a week at grandma's because the food is so gross. So it's happened. That's reality. So just make it the best as you possibly can. Be a good example. Invite them to watch documentaries with you. There's so many documentaries that you can watch. And kids nowadays are so open to compassion for animals. Maybe you can start finding and recommend, go to the vegan websites and see some documentaries that are not as graphic on animal farming, and just ease them into it that way. That's my recommendation. Jeanne, what do you have to offer?
Well, before I jump in, I thought it was interesting about your grandson, because you have him for the weekends and you eat plant-based with him and you make cookies and all kinds of things.
He helps me cook all the time in the kitchen, and he loves it.
So you're starting to show him how to live this way. And then it was interesting, some of the comments, because he would go home and talk about the food, and your daughter kind of got,
You plant the seed.
Yeah.
You plant the seed. And it was so funny when I was driving him home on Sunday, he asked me, he said, Gigi, is this vegan? I was like, where did you hear that word? Because we don't really say vegan so much around our home, because we're plant-based. But he asked me, he says, is this vegan? So I don't know if his mom and dad are talking about the word vegan, because they are. I'm so happy that they are now about 75% plant-based, and their journey is progressing towards 100% plant-based, and everybody's in the same point. But being 75% on processed food that's a tough one. Best thing to do is start educating them as best you can and as gently as you can through gentle example.
Well, I don't have grandchildren, so I can't answer that yet. So our first one is getting married this December, so that's interesting. So I'm assuming your grandchild will be not too far down the road. But just in terms of dealing with my children, because when I first started doing this, I was gung-ho and just really talking a lot about it. And it didn't help. None of my family went plant-based. And so what I do now for my daughter, like when we get together, I don't discuss the food. What I do is I hand her a cookbook when we usually get together during the summer for a week up on the Cape. And I'll say, here's a cookbook. Pick anything you want out of here and let's make it. So we cook together and we make the food together. And I don't make a big deal about it. And if we go out to eat, I don't say anything anymore because, it ends up becoming a huge issue. And I don't want it to be an issue. I want to be able to spend time with the family. So she's watching me. She's seeing me lose weight. She's seeing me change my health destiny. And so I'm hoping that that's going to have an impact on her. And I'm hoping at some point that she will embrace it and go from there. So I think you have to set the example.
You have to set the example, and you have to go about it gently. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a conversation with them if they're old enough. Now, if they're 4 years old, like my grandson, there's no conversation. They just want to eat. They're just little vacuums. So just make everything in your home plant food, plant-based, and There you go. That's 100% of that. Check that off the list. And then if they're, even adolescents, 12-year-olds, just sit down and have a roundtable discussion with them and say, hey, this is what I've learned, and I'd like to present this to you, and kind of make it a learning experience without it being, you have to go plant-based because if you don't, you're going to die. And, don't scare them that way where you're coming off as the bad vegan grandma. It's got to be a gentle education, because food is a big deal for so many people. People get very emotionally attached to food. Even young kids, we're finding out in so many studies now that there's so many stresses in our society that kids at very young ages are using food as a drug, even as adults do it. So you have to watch for those signs as well, and just educate gently.
And get them involved in the cooking process.
Exactly. Very much so. Take a cooking class together. Find a local cooking class. That's, something this coming Saturday, Nick and I are doing an Instant Pot demo. If you're, look up in your town, join a group in your town that might have a cooking class. Just engage it with them and start doing activities with them, or have them come over, pick a recipe out of one of your books and say, let's learn to make this together. Because I found that if you give the people the food and it tastes good, they'll want it again and over and over and over and over. So just feed them. Feed them. And that's all it really takes, is when they lose that perception of, oh, fake meat, fake this, fake that, it's disgusting. Well, we're not supporting the consumption of the analog Franken foods. We want you guys to eat really wholesome whole foods. Mm-hmm. So feed them well, feed them good, and then they're going to go, oh, hey, Grandma, can we have that recipe that we made together last week? And then you're really reinforcing the lifestyle.
Well, like when I go to the carnivores, that's my family, and when we have get-togethers, I always bring the spring pea risotto. And I have to it's gotten to the point now where they know what that is, they recognize it, and they know that this is really good stuff. And so I have to make sure that I get some before it gets out, because otherwise it'll be gone. and I won't get any.
Yeah, I know. I've had your spring pea risotto, and I probably could have just taken a spoon and a bowl and done this. Go away, it's mine.
I know, right? It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Teresa Adams, she has a good question. Do you think it's appropriate to send testimonials to family and friends? Sure, why not? You know, I think it's okay, but just do it. What are your thoughts, Jeanne?
I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of like what I was doing with my family,
true.
because it's trying to put it in their face and go up against it. And it's like really tough. Yeah. And, when you're trying to like, almost like proselytize, it's like, right. It's like shields up, I don't want to hear it. Right. I don't care.
That's true. That's a very good point.
Because I like with my daughter, like she'll call me up and she's having a bad day or whatever. And so I'll start sharing with her these positive stories. And she's like, I don't want to hear anymore. I know they had a good life. They lived happily ever after and, whatever. It shuts her down. It shuts her down. And I think that's when you start to do that to people, they have to want to listen to it. And unfortunately for a lot of us, we have to hit that brick wall where we're just like, something has really happened to us with our health. That's what happened to me.
Yep.
I mean, once I hit that brick wall and it's like, I don't want to be this sick again, ever.
That's true. That's true. You made a very good point. I agree. And so Teresa, definitely go with your gut on that one. Maybe if somebody asks you, hey, Teresa, I've been hearing about this plant-based thing that you're doing. Maybe other people have what are you hearing? What's going on with all this? Then they presented an opportunity to you where you can go, oh, here you go. Here's this testimonial and this testimonial and this testimonial. And then you have opened the door. And so, look for those opportunities and listen for those opportunities. But when I went whole food plant-based in March of 2012, I was under the radar. I didn't tell anybody. So who was I going to tell? It was 2006 years ago. It was still kind of a new thing. I mean, McDougall had been around for years and years and years, but the China study, Forks Over Knives had only been out for a year. So it was still on the leading one So I would say take that advice to heart.
Because one thing you can do is to post it on your Facebook feed. There's a lot of stuff there. And then as it's going through your Facebook, if it's on your timeline, then people that are connected, like friends and family, are going to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
So and not in their face, but
yeah, you just, again, be the walking billboard of health.
Exactly.
And the people are going to go tap, 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 tap. What you doing over there? And then you can say, oh, that's an opportunity. And so we'll just sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
But I want to share her Nonscale victories. She's no brain fog, no achy joints, no belly bloat, no constipation, no nasal swelling, no migraines, no chicken skin, down 5 pounds, and my pants are comfortable. Congratulations, Teresa. That's huge. So, I mean, it's all of those little notices that in our program that we like our members to start sharing. What are you noticing? Did you not have a headache? Did you used to have migraines? And those are fantastic. Congratulations.
I got one.
Okay, what you got?
I got one. I have always had to buy a towel that could fit around me. So I always got the extra large.
The bath size, the shower size, or whatever it
is. And I always got the big, huge towel so that it could fit around me. And so that was in the wash, and I had bought one by mistake of the regular size of the towels that I have in my house, and the other one, my big one, was in the wash. And so I pulled it out and I pulled it around me, expecting it to not connect.
Right.
I'm not kidding. For the first time, this was just like a couple days ago, and I put it on, and I went out to my husband and I said, would you look at this? And he's like, well, the fact that you're in a towel and I just need to unwrap it. Yeah. I mean, that's that's right where his mind goes. Yeah, exactly. I just need to pull that open and I said,
okay. No. G-rated show, Jeanne.
Yeah, I know. So that's where his mind is at because he's plant-based now and his arteries are cleared out, all of his arteries, and
redirect.
Anyway, so But I said, no, look, I want you to look at this towel. And I said, this towel fits around me, even around my hips. And
That's
it overlaps, over my hips, it overlaps. Whereas before it, it could.
That's amazing.
I know. And I went, because I hadn't done this in a while, because I don't use that towel, because it's like, that hasn't fit me ever. And it was so exciting. I put this towel around me and I went, it fits. A normal size towel fits. Because I would always bring, before to the gym, I'd always bring my own towel, because they always had normal size towels.
Like this big.
I know. And they could never fit around me, and everybody's walking around in the dressing room. Well, but I mean, in these towels, and it fits them. And I'm like walking around and I bring my own, because, for the longest time I could never wear those because they wouldn't fit around me. But now I can.
Yay, congratulations, Jeanne.
I know, that was a huge.
I still will take my towel to the gym just because theirs is got some kind of weird detergent. It makes me itchy, and I like my fluffy, bigger bath towel. So, but congratulations, that's huge.
That was huge. That's fantastic. I hadn't seen that.
That's amazing.
Because I never used those towels, but all of a sudden it dawned on me that I fit into a regular towel.
Allison, go ahead. Allison says, OMG, always my goal to fit into a gym towel. That's awesome.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
That's a huge one. That's a huge
good deal. That's fantastic. Well, let's take our next question. This is a good one. I really like this one. This is a good one. Jennifer asks, we have a 4th of July picnic coming up with family, and they're not plant-based. Help. What do I do? What do I bring?
I'll start that one.
Go for it, Jeanne.
Well, we have family gatherings and with the carnivores, and nobody else is plant-based except me. So I understand what you're going through and what you're dealing with. So here's what I do. Anytime we go to family gatherings now, because I would spend 2 days in the kitchen cooking 27 different dishes for everybody so they could taste plant-based foods. And I would bring enough food to feed an army. And I literally would spend 2 days in the kitchen. And people would take a little nibble here, and I would end up going home with all this food. And I said, you know what? And spending days in the kitchen. I'm not doing that anymore. So what I do now is I bring an hors d'oeuvre, because I know that there's going to be potato chips involved. And it upsets me because I know I don't eat them anymore, but the inner raccoon wants those foods. So what I do is I go a little bit outside of the weight loss program, and it's for a holiday. Just one day, it's not going to kill me. But I take foods I get the rice crackers that are no salt, and then I'll get the Kite Hill. Oh my God, they have a cream cheese, or the chives. Oh, so good. And I'll get that, and I'll eat that, because I know then I'm not making myself sick. And low caloric density, it's not. But on the other hand, I know I can have it, and it's not going to make me sick. So that's, so I bring an hors d'oeuvre that I can eat. Then I bring a salad that I know that I've made, and then I bring my own dressing. And then I have them have whatever dressings that they're going to have, whoever house we're at. They usually have all the crappy stuff. So I bring my dressing, and then they have all theirs. And then they can put whatever dressing they want, so it's a non-issue. Okay. Then what I do is I take the Plant Pure Nation foods, and we'll bring they come in these frozen packages, and they're amazing. And they just keep getting better, because I started with them from the beginning, and they were okay in the beginning, but it was a good choice. But now they've got it down. Whoever they're using for their manufacturers, we just ordered another, we're on our 5th or 6th round. We always keep them in the freezers just for these kind of occasions. So that as soon as we get to the house, I put them we have the mini Hot Logics, and now they come out with the 9x13 mini Hot Logic, which can fit 2 of them in perfectly. I zip it up, plug it in. So when we sit down to dinner, I've got 2 amazing dishes. We each sample from those dishes, and then I have the salad, and I'm set. Then I bring my dessert, and I bring chocolate peanut butter pie, which everybody loves. Okay, again, it's not for weight loss, but I'm here for survival mode, because at least there will be one dessert that I can have. So what I do is I, call ahead or let them know that I'm going to be bringing a salad. I'll bring a dessert and go from there.
That's great. And this, what I really like about this question is what you're sharing, Jeanne, and what I can share. Even though we're the Starch Queens and you've actually been plant-based longer than I have, by about a year, you still like to have that dessert if you go in, you're in, I call it mixed company where you're with people who aren't plant-based. What I do is, what Nick and I do is we still try to do traditional picnicky kind of stuff. So we have taken Nick's macaroni salad and we've made it, I'm going to use the word vegan because it's truly not it's not whole food plant-based, okay? Because number one, we're using regular eggless, pasta, elbow macaroni. We do make the not Plant Pure Nation. It's either Forks Over Knives or Plant Pure Nation's mayonnaise. So it's better than vegan-mayonnaise because there's no oil in it. So right. It's not that bad. It's just going to have a little higher fat because it's got soy in it. So tofu in it. So we'll put the onions, the pickles, the olives, and just really make this delicious macaroni salad. And then we don't tell anybody that it's not plant-based. And you know what? We have people go, oh, this is the best macaroni salad we've ever had. Nick and I are going, it's truly, vegan, whole food, plant-based. So we always bring that macaroni salad. We do the same thing with the potato salad. And then we'll do garden burgers. We'll get some vegan hamburger buns. We'll do not a garden burger brand, but we'll either take the Engine 2 garden burgers because there's no oil, no dairy in those, and they're actually really good. Mm-hmm. And then we'll just bring all the fixins, and then we'll, kind of clean a spot off on the barbecue if they're barbecuing and put our little garden burgers there. And then we have our quote unquote hamburger macaroni salad. And then I always bring like fruit kebabs or fresh fruit for the salad, or a big green salad.
Big watermelon would work too.
Yeah, we'll do watermelon slices, and that completely satisfies me. See, the big thing with me is I'm allergic to chocolate. So I'm never going to be able to have Jeanne's chocolate peanut butter pie. So I'm fine. I'm totally fine with not having a dessert. I'm way past that. I'm over it. I'm not. And see, it doesn't even make a difference to me if I never had a piece of pie again, because there's really not any good, in my opinion. I've made a lot of the plant-based pies during the holiday, and they're just like, they're good-ish, but it's not something I'm going to make during the year. And I used to be a big baker. I loved making berry pies and apple pies and lemon meringue pies. And my mom taught me how to make pies, and I love to make pies, but they're not the same, and I don't want to try and replace it. So I'm fine with just moving on from it. So, so that's how we get through a 4th of July barbecue. And
carrot dogs.
Nick wants to do carrot dogs. We haven't done them yet, but Kathy Anderson is tuned in. And I think, Kathy, you've made carrot dogs. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody is watching the show right now, and if you've made carrot dogs, shout it out so we can share your review of carrot dogs. I've heard they're fantastic. You've made them?
I've made them.
Oh, I didn't know you made them.
Yes, carrot dogs. Carrot dogs are amazing. I mean, they really do, especially if you soak them the night before and, then put them on the grill. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what they say to do.
Yeah. I mean, the carrot really absorbs the liquid or whatever it is. And yeah.
Debbie Lewis is saying, yum, love carrot dogs. So did our non-plant-based friends. Kathy says, yum, yes. So, hey, carrot dogs.
That's another choice.
That's another choice.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is don't stress. That was one of the biggest things when I first went plant-based, was like, what if I eat a pickle? What if they have pickle? What if I eat a salty pickle? It's like, oh, my sodium's going to be out of whack. You know what? Eat the dang pickle. Have some olives. That's a plant. You're not eating a hamburger or a cheeseburger or a hot dog. And then tomorrow, if you don't normally eat pickles or you don't normally eat olives, don't eat them. I mean, it's just the way it is,
It's a special day. It's a holiday. Yeah. But focus on the whole reason that you're there. You're getting together with family. You're getting together with friends. And let the food go. I mean,
it's a lifestyle.
It is.
It's a lifestyle. This is not a diet. This is something you're going to do forever. So in the beginning, when you're navigating these situations, don't overthink it. Go prepared. If you're truly worried, eat before you go and plan. And then if you have a little bit extra, and take potatoes. Potatoes are excellent on the grill. I love grilled potatoes. Super good.
Oh my God, with that Veracha sauce.
Vegetables. Oh, I got to order some of that. Jeanne, tell us about the Veracha sauce again.
Oh my God. This stuff is, and especially because it's hard to find like a sriracha sauce or a spicy sauce that it doesn't have a ton of sodium in it.
Right.
And this Veracha sauce doesn't have a lot of sodium. And it's all plant-based. There's no preservatives in it. And I'm going through it like I found it someplace local to begin with, but I can't find where. I don't remember where I bought it. So I just buy it on Amazon now.
Awesome. So, I've got it actually on my list. I just got to move to cart on it.
Okay. Well, they do have the same company. It's called I think it's True Foods. They make a barbecue sauce and a ketchup. I wasn't real thrilled about the ketchup, and the barbecue sauce was so much, it had a lot of sugar in it. I don't know. I haven't compared it to other ones, and I haven't tried the barbecue sauce yet, but I looked at the specs, and I'm like, yeah.
A lot of sodium.
I mean, I'm really happy with the Borracho sauce. So I had a former student who came to my house to help me weed in my yard yesterday, and so he came in, and he was like really hungry. So I just sliced up a potato, drizzled some of the Borracho sauce on it, and cooked it up. Heated it up. He scarfed that down. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever had. I'm like, it is. I love it on my French fries. I'm the Veracha Queen sauce. And somebody asked also too about how do we find the plant-based meals. You go to plantpurenation.com. Under foods they have the packages. Now, a couple of things I just want to tell you about them. They're bulky. So the packages are large and they take up a lot of space. Now we ordered the 20-pack and we get a much better price. And then we just went to Home Depot and bought like a small freezer. And that's what we put into it. We put the big pizzas in there that we got from Engine 2. So we just keep that stuff there. And, that's what's in that freezer pretty much.
Yeah, you can get those little chest freezers even at Costco for like $75.
Yeah, so just get a small freezer, and because they are bulky. So we get the 20-pack because they're cheaper, and they're great for when I'm gone and my husband doesn't cook. My husband doesn't cook. At least Nick, yours cooks.
He's actually in the kitchen cooking dinner right now.
Yeah, no, mine doesn't cook. He'll boil water and he'll heat up something, but no, he will go out. He will do everything, but I mean, I used to when I would go away. I would prepare and cook all these foods, and I'd freeze them. All they had to do was take it out and heat it up. I'd come back, they'd all be there.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I spent all this time, effort, and energy. Nope.
The missus is away. I'm gonna go have
but
a little
he will go and get those. He loves those. They're husband approved. He loves. There's not one he doesn't like. I mean, seriously.
Everyone we've ever tried is very good. They're very convenient. And they've actually lowered the price, and they actually have a membership program. So for $10 a month, you get a pretty sizable discount. My only pet peeve with them is the packaging. Yes. I ordered them, and there's boxes inside of boxes, and then there's like that long brown paper wrapping, and then there's the dry ice. And so the environmentalist in me doesn't like that. But
no. But they are getting into the stores in the South.
And you need to tell them what stores they're in.
Publix in the South. They have Publix in the South, and they're in there now. So I think they're limited amount or flavors, but they're in Publix. And I'm hoping that they get into other grocery stores because that would take care of having that waste. I agree.
I really pray and send the best to Plant Pure Nation because they're just
phenomenal.
They're going to change the health destiny of millions of people, and it's just amazing. So if they could get those into Target and to Walmart, would be a huge start for helping people in our country get healthy, and that's amazing. So let's take the next question, Jeanne.
All right, go.
I want to say real quick a comment. People are asking about the Veracha. Can you spell that, Jeanne, and tell us who it is from? And then everybody, we will post the link when we're done tonight.
Yep.
We'll post the link on Amazon.
Teresa said she posted in there, and it says True Made Veracha Sauce, and that's it. It's made by, the company is called True Made, and they only make 3 products. They make the Veracha sauce, the barbecue, and the ketchup. So,
okay, because Helen was asking if that's what it's called, and so Helen, that is what it's called.
Yes, it's called Veracha because it's like vegetables. It's a vegetable sriracha.
Awesome.
So good.
We're going to take a little bit of a minute here, and we're going to give you a testimonial from the I was going to say from Plant-Based Chico, from the Starch Queens group. So we really like to recognize the success our group members are having on the program. I'm a huge believer in recognition as a whole. And we always have what's called Nonscale victories. So Allison Lucas shared with us her Nonscale victory. She said, today, I did not snack or stress eat at work today. Eating my way through the day is a problem for me. I have a desk job and I'm bored out of my mind, very busy, but I hate sitting there all day. So I guess eating is how I deal with it. And she didn't eat today to combat the boredom. So Allison, that's fantastic. That's what, you hear me in our morning drive alongs, and that's what I call recreational eating, boredom eating. And it boils down to, it's a habit. And what you did today is you broke the habit, and you just built a new neuron in your brain so that tomorrow, we got to get you thinking, first of all, the desk job. I'm right there with you. I'm an accountant by day, and I'm sitting there at my desk too. And, I see a lot of people that I work with sitting there munching on M&Ms and Skittles and Jelly Bellies. And it's really hard for me to just not go around and collect them all and say, can I just give you carrots? So, congratulations. That's a huge non-scale victory, and keep at it. And we're just really excited for you. Congratulations. So our next question, Jeanne. I know, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
I know.
So it's really huge. Getting inside this head with our program was where it's all at. Success is going to lay with everything that you're building within your head.
True. And before you get to the next question, Allison, just another tip you might think about is what I do is I bring my food with me without question.
Yeah.
So if I get bored and I need something to, recreational eat, I'll go look in my cooler and there's peas or there's carrots or there's a piece of fruit. So at least you're eating something healthy. So make sure that you always have food, good, healthy food available. And let's not forget about the potato hour, in the middle of the afternoon. And you're just like, oh my God, I'm so hungry or bored or just something needs eat. Hello?
Hello?
Or there's something that you need to do, that you're frustrated, whatever. Go turn to something healthy. And then that'll help it. The potato hour in particular, wow. When you just got to have something. The potatoes, what I do is after lunch, I'll slice up. I always bring my potatoes for the potato hour. I'll slice them up. I'll drizzle a little of the Veracha sauce on them. And I'll put it into the mini Hot Logic. And then when the potato hour hits, then I just go and get that and eat that. And I like it. I like it hot, and I got the sauce on it, and so good.
Super good.
Super good. Next question.
What I really like, though, real quick about the potato hour is it takes you through to dinner.
Yes.
So I was always the person that by 4:00, I'm just kind of like, like you say, the inner raccoon is coming out. And it's not that I'm really hungry. I'm more bored than anything. And I'm just like done with the day, ready to go home. And I just want to have something. I wasn't probably even really hungry. But then there's days that I was hungry. And have a potato. And, you get home, you make it through traffic, and you're not getting that hangry attitude going on. And you go home, you get your dinner together, and you have what I call a safe and sane plant-based meal, because you're not ravaging the refrigerator.
Right.
So the potato hour serves a dual purpose.
Yeah.
So Allison, pack a potato.
Allison mentioned in her comment, she says, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I do it without even noticing.
Yeah. It's
true. So make sure that you, if you're going to be eating, make sure that you bring plant-based foods and you snack on that. Because once you're not hungry, then you can get through whatever you're dealing with. But if the inner raccoon is coming out, yeah, all bets are off.
You got to put that inner raccoon in its trap.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Teresa's comment. Shop your cooler, not the vending machines.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
That's a good one.
That's
really good one, Teresa.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. All right, next question. I like this question too. A lot of great questions this week.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeanne, what can you do in your neighborhood to help spread the word about plant-based living?
Oh, that is a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, super good one. Because there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, what I did, because I was like the only person out there. I mean, like seriously, when I first started, and you heard crickets chirping, and I started a Facebook group, and for the first probably 2 years, I was the only one who posted in it, and I'm like, seriously, it's
hey,
like,
Jeanne,
hello,
hey, Jeanne.
hello, anybody out there?
Hello.
I just felt like, just please, somebody comment, make a comment, so I felt alone for a long time, and I kept pushing at it. Then I started a meetup group, so meetup.com, and you have to pay for that to join. It's free, but to actually start a meetup group, it's like, I don't know, I think it's like $75 a year.
Well, I just had a surprise charge go through my credit card, so I think it's $75 or $79 or $80 every 6 months, but it's worth it. I've got like almost 350 people that are signed up in the Plant-Based Chico meetup. You don't see them every month, but they
get the notifications.
Yeah, exactly.
That they're there.
That's great.
The other thing you can do is start in like your local church. If you belong to a church, then see if you can take this as a ministry to say like, okay, Thursday nights is going to be healthy nights at the church, and have a potluck dinner there, show a movie like Forks Over Knives or What the Health or something along those lines. Or there's tons of educational videos. If you go to starchqueens.net, go under videos. Oh my gosh, tons and tons and tons of videos on there. Really some good stuff. So, I've taken the time and effort. I've been building this website for years. Some people go on vacation. I build websites, whatever. So I continually add to this website all the time. So those are some of the things. Nancy, you got something else? Anything to add to that?
Yeah. Plant-based, what? I would keep wanting to plug Plant-Based Chico. So I'm just going to say it. Plant-Based Chico. Plant Pure Nation. Pods. Okay. Go on Plant Pure Nation's website, watch the Plant Pure Nations documentary, and sign up and check. First of all, check to see if there's a pod in your community, and you just put your zip code in, and then you'll either see nothing or a list of maybe 1 or 2 or 3 pods in your surrounding area, and go make first contact, sign up, find out when they have a meetup, when their next meeting is. If there's nothing that's returned, start a pod in your group, and they provide you all the educational material you need. They provide a mentor. I'm a mentor for new pod members. I love helping everybody set up their groups, and it's a great way to find like-minded people in your community. You can hold potlucks and everything that Jeanne just said. You can find a church or a community center or a library, your home. And what I really like about is the Esselstyn's story. Nick and I went to Oakland and we saw Rip Esselstyn in person, and he talked about how Dr. Esselstyn and his wife, what's his first wife's name? Anne and Dr. Esselstyn literally opened up their home and had like Saturday night potlucks. So they just, they knew the importance of health. Dr. Esselstyn had written his book. He's at the Cleveland Clinic. And this was, truly the beginning of a movement. So they literally just had people to their home. He would talk about it, share the food, and it grew and grew and grew and grew from there. And here we are, all of us are sitting here talking about it because it started with 2 people in their home with a potluck.
Right.
So you don't have to have a center. You don't have to spend much money. You just have to have a desire. But I really believe, use social media. Make a Facebook group in your town. Talk to Jeanne and I about starting a plant-based group. We'll help you do it, Plant-Based Town. And just get the word out there. And if you're not comfortable having people in your home because you never know, then have your first potluck at the community center for a few months until you get to know people. But, there's no rules. You can set your own rules. The point is to surround yourself with people that support your lifestyle. And I've met the most wonderful people.
I know, right?
Through this journey. It's amazing. Love
like
it.
You.
Like you. And all of the wonderful people that are watching our program, that are in our group, and Plant-Based Chico group, and Plant-Based Westchester, and all of them. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and that's what makes it doable.
And I want to jump on that because I forgot to even mention Plant-Based Your Towns. And that's something that we started doing, because when we started doing the 10-day challenges, we just had so many people that were like, okay, who wants to start a group? Because we can't keep doing this, Because I think we were up to 100 people each in our 10-day challenges.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot. And so we started branching out, and I think we've got, 27, 28, something like, I forgot, I lost count. But we have Plant-Based Your Towns, and we help support. We do monthly meetings with our plant-based admins, and we connect to talk about it. We've got now 5 towns. I think we've got Plant-Based Providence, Westchester, Ontario, Atlanta, Chicago, and Chico that are doing the 10-day challenges.
Right, and we just added a new plant-based town to our network, and that is in Gresham, Oregon.
Gresham, Oregon, yep.
Cindy and Bob in Gresham, Oregon. They're on their way to Europe right now, so travel safe. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do. On that note, let's take the next question, Jeanne. Bugs. What can we use for bug spray?
Bug sprays. A lot of bug sprays use some serious chemicals. So always check on the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org, and you can type in bug spray or insecticides or insect spray, and you can find some good choices there. But I like making my own, and it's super easy. And if anybody wants the recipe, I'll post it in the Starch Queens afterwards. But the recipe is so easy. It's 2 ounces of distilled or boiled water. You want to make sure that there's no bacteria in it. So that's why distilled or boiled. 1 ounce of witch hazel or vodka. That's kind of like your base. And then I use 20 drops of eucalyptus essential oil, 20 drops of peppermint essential oil, 20 or 15 drops of tea tree oil, 10 drops of lemon essential oil, and then 1 teaspoon of jojoba oil to carry it. So,
that's amazing.
And I put it into, I got these bottles on Amazon, and it fits perfectly. There's little cobalt blue spray bottles, and they fit perfectly in that. And I would take these because every time we would do outdoor demonstrations in, different venues, the bees would find us because I would be doing a sugar scrub, and the bees would go crazy.
Oh, because it's sweet.
And it's sweet, and they love the sugar, and so they're circling around us and hovering. And it's like, okay. So I would spray around me and around the area, and they're like, yeah, we're out of here. And they would take off. It was hilarious to watch them. Just like, yeah, we're gone.
I know I was on the East Coast with you last year. What about those biting flies, man? I got bit. Does it work for those babies? Those
they do. They do. I mean, you got to spray, obviously, first, but I've not had issues when I've sprayed myself. I've not had, and I've seen it I don't know how well it works on ticks, because I'm usually not in tick area, but I've never seen when I've had it on there for ticks. I've never had that. They don't like the smell of the essential oils because it's very concentrated. But you also want to make sure that you're using good quality essential oil. Pure Haven makes amazing. They have USDA certified organic essential oils that are just incredible. So that's how I make my bug spray. So I will post the recipe down below.
Post the recipe. That'd be great, because Nick and I are just starting our backpacking for this summer, getting ready to go to Mount Whitney, and I'm not so worried about ticks because it's going to be, it's a volcano. It's Mount Whitney, it's rock, but there's a lot of mosquitoes and a lot of flies, and and it's going to be at night, and I don't want to use DEET. What is DEET, Jeanne? It's 100% chemical, correct?
It is. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's bioaccumulative, but I'll have to look it up.
Well, Nick brought me this, and he calls it, he got this out of our backpacking stuff, and it's called Nape Repellant, NATRAPEL, and it says the active ingredient is, I can't read it, picarin, and other ingredients is 80%. I don't know what that other 80% is, but it says keep out of reach of children, so it's probably not good for you. So we'll just move on from that. So I want to do another testimonial real quick.
Oh, okay.
And
Go.
I know. I love these testimonials. And this is from Lisa Sin. And this one, okay, please forgive me if I start to cry. I'm an empath. I cry at weddings. I cry at funerals. I cry at dog commercials. I am a baller. So I am just so excited about this testimonial. Lisa Sin, who's been in our program since the beginning of January, she says, well, I'll share my testimonial today. I started at a size 5X. Again, a 5X. And then she says, I went to a 4X. And now I'm able to do a 3X. I am pleased. This has been a really hard month for me with the loss of my dear friend. I wasn't perfect, but I am learning so much about myself and doing good now. I have made so much progress since I've been on this journey. I know there's only good things to come. I'm on my way.
Ooh,
Isn't that awesome?
that is.
Congratulations, Lisa. And I'm going to plug the Starch Queens here real quick. And it's about, our program is, I don't like to say that it's a diet. It's a lifestyle and health program that you just happen to lose weight with, because Jeanne has put together this amazing educational program, and we have 20 days of educational topics, 20 days of average 15-minute ride-alongs with me. We coach you, we guide you, and we share our combined 13 years of plant-based education with you, and we're getting into your head, and so Lisa's making great decisions. She's down 2 size from a 5X to a 3X, and even though she had a really stressful grieving month, she still made plant-based decisions. She didn't throw it in and toss the towel and say, that's it, I'm out. I'm going to just do what I want for a month or two while I grieve the loss of my friend, because she knows the importance of protecting her health first and foremost. So that is huge. I mean, the dress sizes going down, Lisa, is a bonus, but what you said about not being perfect and doing good and learning, that's the lifestyle kicking in. That's the lifestyle that you're building the foundation, laying the bricks that's going to last you for a lifetime. And when you're doing that, then, you're going to, a month or two from now, you're going to say, I'm down to a 1X. And then you're going to be down to not even in plus size. And you're going to as that time goes by, you're going to be, your foundation in your plant-based education is going to be that much stronger. And then it's a lifestyle where you're like Jeanne and I, and you don't even think, it's second nature.
Right.
You don't ever think about the frankenfood, the processed foods, because you're built new neural pathways in your brain. And so this is a huge non-scale victory. And so congratulations. And
wow.
Again, very sorry for the loss of your friend. That's always devastating.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to point out Dr. Lou has joined us tonight. Welcome, Dr. Lou.
Hi, Dr. Lou.
Yes. And I want to read her comment. She says, so many of my patients used to think they eat healthy. Then they tried whole food plant-based and no oil. They dropped weight and slept like a rock.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So true. Yep.
So true. All right. We have another question. And this one, Jeanne, I think we'll probably do together, but I'm going to start it with you. The Starch Queens are all about starch. What's with all the talk about starch not breaking down in your system?
Well, some of it is, the starch that doesn't, the resistance.
So I think what they're talking about is the refined starch, the carboholic type people say that they're carboholics because they're eating bagels, they're eating donuts, they're eating, all of the refined grain carbohydrates. And then there's this whole, with the keto movement, they're saying, the carbohydrates don't break down. But I'll go ahead and I'll tackle this one. The difference is with us is we're humans, we have amylase. So the amylase is what was going to break down that carbohydrate in your gut and turn it into fuel. And so, but you want that carbohydrate to be a starch from a sweet potato. You want that starch to be from rice, whole grains. You don't want your starch or your refined carbohydrate or, the carboholic type, that was me. I used to love the refined, like crackers and not potato chips, because that's not a refined carbohydrate. That's fried, but I'm talking about crackers and donuts and all of those types of refined carbohydrates. Those are truly addicting because they trigger the dopamine in your brain. But as far as breaking down in your digestive tract, we have amylase. And so the amylase is going to help break that down. It's the carboholic. People say, oh, I'm a carboholic. They say I'm a carboholic because they're eating refined processed carbohydrates and not whole carbohydrates, like a whole sweet potato, a whole russet potato, or Yukon potato, or brown rice, or quinoa, or Jeanne, name a couple of you eat some really exotic whole grains. Share a couple.
Kamut grain is amazing. I love that. Absolutely. Wheat, winter berries are another absolute amazing grain. There's a lot from Shiloh Farms. If you just Google Shiloh Farms, go on Amazon, tons of that. Or you can go to the actual website. You can order directly from there. They've just got tons of different grains. You're like, wow, what is this grain? Make it, try it, be daring. But exactly. I love the kamut grain because it's got this nutty, chewy texture. Love barley. I love barley.
Oh, yeah, barley's good.
Yeah.
And then the people who happen to be, truly gluten sensitive, or, they truly have celiac disease and they got to stay away from rye and wheat. There's still a lot of whole grains that you can eat. So I don't believe kamut or ones that you're referring to fall into any gluten issues, do they, Jeanne?
I don't know.
I don't think so, but maybe we should follow up on that one. Because my niece is actually, she went through all the testing and she has celiac disease. So she has to be really careful. Yeah. Yep. All right. So we have, we are getting close to the 6 o'clock hour, Jeanne. Right. So what do you want to share upcoming events?
I do, because I am going at the end of this month. My husband and I are driving to Cleveland, and I'm so excited because I went to Ohio State for my undergrad, so know the area well. And my friends who I went to college with, we're still in touch, and we still hang out together. They're in Cleveland, so I'm going to be staying with them. So I'm
going to your old stomping ground.
I know. So I'm going to my own stomping grounds, and we did a lot of trips to Cleveland together. I'd go and visit their parents and whatnot. So I'm excited. But this is called the National Health Association, and I'm not sure why. I've never heard of this group because they are like the grandparents of the plant-based movement. They've been having conferences for 70 years.
What?
70 years. Okay.
Wow.
And I just did an interview with Mark Huberman, who is the president of the National Health Association. And fascinating, absolutely, because his story, he was from a child, he became plant-based and didn't know he was plant-based. And his parents then had this amazing organic grocer that was a first of its kind anywhere. And he grew up this way, and he was at some of the conferences early on at a very young age. He was at these conferences, and he's been involved with it his whole life. But I just want to tell you some of the experts. And as I spoke to them 2 days ago, Mark and Wanda are the husband and wife, and they, are in charge of running this conference. And they had, at last speak, they only had 4 slots left. So this is going to sell out this week, I'm sure. But they've got coming up this week, and they've got a lot of presenters, but I'm just telling you some of the main ones. They've got Joel Furman, amazing. Alan Goldhammer is going to be there. Anthony Lim, who is from the physician from True North Health Center. Frank Sabatino, who's the director for Balance of Life. He runs a major retreat in Florida. Joel Kahn, who's the cardiologist of the Whole Heart Solution. Pam Popper. I just did a show with her on menopause, and I got to finish editing it. I'm behind on my editing. Anyway, amazing. I can't say enough about Pam Popper. She runs the Wellness Forum in Columbus, Ohio, with Chef Dell. Oh my God, his food is amazing.
Forks Over Knives. He's the author and creator of the Forks Over Knives. The majority of the Forks Over Knives recipes, they're delicious.
Right. John McMahon, who is the co-founder and host of the I Thrive documentary, is going to be there as well. Yep. And then Kathy Fisher from Straight Up Foods is going to be there doing cooking demonstrations. So lots of amazing people from the plant-based world. But like a lot of the plant-based people, the doctors that started this originally, cut their teeth through this. So it's called the National
That's
Health
amazing.
Association. Yep, National Health Association, and the website is health. I wrote it down someplace. Health Science, I believe it is .org.
Awesome.
Let me see.
And
Yep, Health Science. Yep, healthscience.org. Sorry.
And if you sign up for a minimal donation or fee, you get like their periodical and a lot of great. They have an amazing website, a very dynamic website, very good.
Plus,
so that sounds like fun.
Yes. Plus, when you become a member of the National Health Association, not only do you get moving forward the magazines for the year, but you get access to all of their magazines. They put them online, and they're fun. They do not take any advertisements at all. The magazine is advertisement free. Period.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's wonderful. I signed up. I belong. I love it. It's great.
I know. An amazing magazine. Because we both joined, Yeah.
Yep, I know. I have a tip. I love it when on our Starch Queens page, we get tips that are posted by those who follow our Facebook page. So Martina Stahl, she's got a garden and she grew rhubarb, fresh rhubarb. And I mean, I love rhubarb. Who doesn't love rhubarb? Well, she took it, she dried it, she ground it up in her Vitamix and turned it into a powder. And she says she uses it for a no salt seasoning and that it's delicious.
Wow.
So I would have never thought about drying rhubarb.
No, I don't.
So I'm assuming, she dried it with her dehydrator and then put it into her Vitamix and made it a powder. And I mean, you could put it into like a repurposed salt or pepper shaker and use it for a no salt seasoning. And I happen to have a dehydrator. I don't grow rhubarb, but I know where I can go buy some at the local farmer's market. And I'm going to do that. The farmer's market's on Saturday. So I'm going to try that. It sounds delicious. Thank you, Martina, for that tip. Let's see.
Wait. Teresa Adams.
I saw that. I was waiting for you to notice it about Lisa's underwear.
Because I call it the miracle of the underwear. And every day when I put my underwear on that are, like they look like this big to me, and to put my big bottom in them, I think Teresa was commenting about that. So maybe soon, not quite yet because I just bought some new underwear. So coming soon, new underwear with new towels, new bath towels, regular size bath towels.
The struggle is real. If you start losing weight, you got to get new bras, you got to get new underwear, and you don't want to have the creepy crawler wedgie. So treat yourself. We always say when you have Nonscale victories, reward yourself. And believe it or not, here in JCPenney's, they had a lady that had worked at JCPenney for years. And she was the bra queen. She'd come right into the dressing room. You take off the shirt. She'd measure the bust, and she'd go out and she'd pick out the types of bras that would be perfect for you. She came in and she gave me like 5 different options. And then she says, there, see, now you got rid of this wrinkle and this roll and this roll and this roll. And, so find a good lingerie shop that will fit you for a proper size bra. And when you get fitted, it makes all the world of difference. So reward yourself with some new lingerie, ladies.
That's at the end of the summer, that is on my to-do list. I'm cleaning up my bras because they've just been so stretched out, and it's time.
Yeah, it's time. So, Treva says Dillard's. We don't have a Dillard's here in Northern California. Yeah. So call around, ask around, but it's really makes all the difference when you get properly fitted for a good brassiere. Spend the money, buy a good one, and it just makes all the difference in the world.
My stepdaughter did that. She worked in one of those shops, and she now is the queen. She knows how to do that. So
it's an art. It truly is an art. All right, Jeanne. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and spending an hour with the Starch Queens. We appreciate it. We'll comment any questions. We always go through and try to answer any questions that we missed, and we can always roll them over. Next week, do we have Dr. Danaeff next week, Jeanne?
Dr. David Danaeff is going to be back with us again. Give us
the info on Dr. David Danaeff, and we already have some questions that are coming in for Dr. Danaeff.
We do.
Kathy Anderson has a good one on B12. So let's tell the viewers what we got so far for Dr. Danaeff. A little preview.
Oh, so go ahead.
So I know Kathy Anderson asks about B12. Her
Right.
doctor recommended a monthly B12 shot because it metabolizes better. So we didn't feel qualified to answer that, and we didn't take the time to research it. So we're going to ask Dr. Danae next week Kathy Anderson's question on injectable B12. Is it worth the time? Is it worth the money?
Well, next week also too, the theme is going to be diabetes. So his focus is the questions. We've got a lot of questions already on diabetes and asking about diabetes because it's such a it's huge. It's so
it's a pandemic. It's
it is.
epidemic. It's
It
an
is.
epidemic. We can't talk enough about obesity, diabetes, heart disease. And we have a lot of fun sharing our Starch Queens program with everybody here. But, you know, we've got to get down into the nuts and bolts of this lifestyle. And the real underlying issue is obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and chronic illness. So we're really appreciative of Dr. Lou, Dr. Danae, Dr. Karen Ramshai. She's tuned in tonight too. She'll be on with us in the very near future. So we really appreciate the doctors that are spending time with us because we want to make sure we get the word out to everybody.
Absolutely.
All
All right.
High five, partner.
High five. I don't know if I'm doing it right with this way.
Yeah,
I know.
Our screens are all wonky. So everybody have a fantastic evening. Make every meal plant-based.
Yes.
We hope to see you next week at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. If you're interested in learning more about the Starch Queens program, go to sqweightloss.com. You can always just private message Jeanne or I. We'd be happy to spend our time talking with you about your journey. That's what we're doing. That's what we're here for. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Good night.
Night, John Boy.
Night, John Boy.
No, you're supposed to say night, Mary Ellen.
Oh, night, Mary Ellen.